What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy ATruckerNamedJay. Checking in. We still at the house. I gotta ask a question. Actually, I've gotten asked this question a bunch of times. And they really, I still, even though I'm doing this video, I still really don't know how to answer this question. But I do want to speak on it some way, okay? The reality is this: I am not a legal representative. I'm not a lawyer. So please don't take any legal advice from me. I'm not here for that. Nor am I a law enforcement expert. Once upon a time when I thought I wanted to be a cop back in 2012, I got certified through DCJS as a certified armed security officer. But it sounds a lot more flashy than what it really is. All I did was take a class on shooting unarmed and arrest, like how to put handcuffs on people. A basic security course. And I was doing security at hotels, apartment complexes. I think I did a bar one night where I was outside, pretty much helping drunk people to their cars or to their taxis, I should say. So it was, and I think I worked in a Sam's Club one time overnight, sitting in front of it's, my idea back then, I was a younger guy, of security was a little bit, I thought it was more exciting than what it really was. Security is one of the most boring jobs on the planet. And if you don't know that, I hope you learn that soon. Yeah, security and police officer are nothing alike. That's just but whatever, getting back on track. So my opinion comes from somebody who's had a little bit of training with firearms, on top of my personal use of firearms. And the question simply is, should you carry on your truck? Should you carry on your truck? It's a question I've seen a lot. I've been asked a lot. I've seen a couple videos on it. I just want to put my spin on it, man. And the reality of it, to me, comes down to what's more important to you. I mean, that's all it boils down to. What is more important to you? I'm old school. I'd rather be I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. So in my mind, there is just no law or punishment that is greater than me getting caught slipping and losing my life, or being, put in a position to where maybe I'm not able to drive for a long period of time because I was unable to defend myself. You know what I mean? And that's not saying that I do or don't carry. I'm just saying, all this is, allegedly. Truck drivers are targets, man. Especially in today's climate. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention outside. Some of us have elevated so much so that we forgot where we come from. But if you remember where you come from and you know how it is out there, man, the streets is hungry. You got people out there who ain't, been eating in like a year because of this pandemic. As much as this affects some of us truck drivers or other business owners, it's affecting the streets as well, and the streets is hungry. So you can go out here and act like you untouchable and it could never happen to you or whatever. But it very well can. I mean, I've been robbed as a truck driver. I think Party Hard has been robbed as a truck driver. I mean, you see shit in news headlines all the time of a truck driver that's been jumped, beaten, held at gunpoint. It's real, man. It's really real. And don't get me wrong, even having a firearm on you doesn't automatically protect you. That's another myth that we got to do away with. Just because you got it don't mean you fucking Terminator. Nigga get the drop on you, it's over. Period. You better give them what they want or they're going to put you under. Let me put that out there for the young boys that think that because you got a fucking Glock in your back pocket that you going to do some shit you see in the movies that if somebody walk up on you from behind, you going to hit them with a spin move and hit them with the John Wick. No, they're going to blow your fucking brains out your forehead. If somebody got the drop on you, bro, just give them what they want. I promise you they'll leave. That's what happened to me. He was like, yo, empty your wallet. I opened my shit. Want no cash in there. Want nothing but cards. He ain't want that. He got mad. At that point, I thought he was going to shoot me. Honestly did. I thought he was going to shoot me, man. I'll never forget that night. I was in Minnesota. It was the same year the Patriots came back and beat the Falcons in the Super Bowl. I was in Minnesota, and it was a crazy experience, man. Nigga was banging on my door, and I opened that shit like a dumbass. I was so stupid. And buddy hopped up in the truck, pulled it out on me. Yo, let me get your wallet. I said, all right, man, don't hurt me. Had my hands up like that. And it was interesting because as soon as I had pulled the curtain back, I knew it was something fishy going on. And I had my headset on and I had called 911. Yeah, call me a pussy, whatever, I don't care. It was like 4 of them out there. It was like 3 females and a dude. And called 911. So while he's sitting up in the joint, 911 is on my headset. And so they could hear everything. I'm like, yo, don't hurt me. The bread right there. I hold in my wallet. He was like, let me get you. He was like, you ain't got no cash? I said, nah. And he hopped out the truck and left. Now, he could have got mad right there, emptied the clip. Mind you, I'm in a sleeper berth, so I don't got nowhere to agile or duck or nothing. It could have just been over right there. ATruckerNamedJay would have been over with. But, it don't matter if I had an AK on the truck or a gun on the truck, whatever. Like, buddy would have took me out, and that just would have been it. So, having a gun does not automatically protect you. I think we get caught up with the illusion of guns are just the greatest thing in the world, and they are, but you still got to move a certain type of way as a truck driver, whether you got a gun or not. Especially females. Not trying to be sexist, not trying to take away y'all power. Y'all a strong, independent woman, but let's call a spade a spade. Y'all should not be walking around no truck stop nowhere 1,000 miles away from home after the sun go down. That's just a fact. I don't like my wife going outside in my neighborhood after dark. So you for damn sure shouldn't be outside that truck after dark in the middle of New Mexico when they snatching black and brown women up from coast to coast. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like this video was supposed to be about gun safety and should you carry a gun on the truck. But let's really talk about the reality is, I've lived this way too, is that if I need a gun to go there, I shouldn't be there. So if you go somewhere and the first thing you thinking is like, yo, I need my gun, you might not need to be there. Now, that can be a double standard because me personally, I just carry my shit everywhere I go, allegedly. But that's just because the world can be a fucked up place sometimes. But 9 times out of 10, I rarely use my gun. Well, really, like 9.5 times out of 10. As a matter of fact, I almost used it, I think it was last night. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I almost shot a dog last night. I was dropping something off to my brother, and when I pulled up, he was sitting on the car. And I'm like, who the fuck car he sitting on? He got a new car? Like, I was bugging for a minute. And he was like, yo, you got your joint? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it was a dog, like a big-ass pit bull, sitting there barking at him. And that's when I realized that he had been chased by this dog. And he was sitting on the hood of his car, or this car, because he was running from the dog. So I pulled my shit out, and I put one in the head. And we thought we was about to send this doggy to heaven. But luckily, like not but 2-3 minutes later, the owner came outside and was apologizing and shit. How the dog got out of the apartment, who knows? But I rarely use my shit. Like I got this right here. I got this Diamondback. This is a very cheap gun, but it's still very reliable, dependable, doesn't jam. unless you try to fire it too. Like it doesn't do the I forgot what it's called. Like sometimes you got the rapid fire was like pow pow pow. This joint you can't do that. It'll jam. But I paid like $200 for this gun. $200. It's a very it ain't nothing crazy. Now the one that I am most likely I would have showed y'all, but it's actually in my van. Is my I got a M&P Shield. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, and that's the other thing. Like, if you're gonna carry a gun on the truck, you gotta ask yourself what kind of gun are you gonna carry? Because I mean, honestly, I would hate to have to walk around with this or have it on my truck because and that's the difference too. While I'm on that, remember, there's a difference between having a gun on your truck and walking around with that gun. Now we talk, cause see, I've been doing hella research into this, and I've talked to a couple different gun fanatics. There really isn't a law when it comes to having a gun on your truck, because technically your truck is your home, so it's like having a gun in your home from what I've seen. Now if I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comments, but however, when it comes to having it on your person while walking around that truck, one, you need to make sure you see what your state laws is. I mean, some laws are open carry, some are most of them you got to have a permit to conceal it, and some you just can't have it at all. So if you want to have if you're going to have a gun on your truck, you might as well kiss New York goodbye, PA, really anything north of Virginia. You just don't even go there. You might want to reconsider Illinois and Ohio too, like because their gun laws are just biblically bad. Like you get caught and you might as well call your family right then and there and tell them you'll see them in 5 years or some shit, because they hate guns in the northern states. They hate them. Southern states, man, the cop may see the gun, and as long as all your shit come back clean, that nigga won't say shit. Your gun could be sitting in the passenger seat, and you be in Georgia on some shit. As long as you ain't moving funny, they'll let you go. But, of course, if you're black, they might kill you. But if you're white and your gun's sitting in the passenger seat, they might let you go. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so I guess what I'm really trying to say is it boils down to whether or not you should carry a gun. Number one, you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth being out there and feeling unsafe or whatever? Because, you got to understand, as a truck driver, sometimes you may be in the middle of nowhere and there may be a pack of coyotes out your door. It can happen. Who knows, man? People target truck drivers. You can move. Sometimes you can move as safe as you want to move, and sometimes you still get put in a situation. So that just depends on you. The biggest obstacle is going to be your company. If you're an owner-operator, fuck them. But if you're a company driver, that can get tricky because some companies have company policies against firearms. So you would have to talk with your company. But as far as owner-operators, lease operators, man, I would say, you just got to figure out what's important to you. What is it? Is it worth, the legal action that may happen behind it, or the funeral arrangements that may have to be made? I leave that for y'all to decide, man. I already know the decision that I make on a daily basis. I've had too many close encounters between stray dogs, but that was in my personal car. But getting robbed, I've had people try to play jokes and put notes on my truck. I did a live feed one time, and I never addressed it publicly because I just didn't want to give them the satisfaction, but it happened a while ago. Now, it was probably about 3 or 4 months ago, where I was doing a live feed in Cali, and I had broke down, and I had given away my location, but I was still doing a 34-hour reset. So by the time I got off that live feed, which was earlier in the day, had to be like 2, 3 o'clock, and I was chilling in the truck, went to sleep, woke up the next morning, somebody had came up to my truck and put a note on my door. Like, yeah, we see you, nigga, on some shit like that. And me, I took that as like, oh, okay, y'all like to play games. Well, I like to play too. You know what I mean? And, I like to play too. And so I say to people who want to play games like that, man, hey, man, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. A lot of people talk a lot of shit on this app about how tough they is and how hard they is and where they come from. We'll pull up. I ain't none of that. But I'm going home to my family. Period. It's not even a question. Unless you get the drop on me because I'm moving stupid, I'm going home to my family. So you do what you will with that bit of information. But that's all I got on this topic, man. Move safely. I pray everybody be safe in 2021. Get this bag, do it safely. Stop moving in places you shouldn't be moving in, trying to do things you know you shouldn't be doing. That's just what it comes down to. Because a lot of times when we get caught up on some bullshit, we out there doing something we ain't supposed to be doing. That's just reality of it. But as always, you already know what it is. I got to come up with a new saying for 2021. But for now, we're still going to be stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. God, family, trucking. Keep pushing. Your goals are closer than what you think they are. I'm gone.